I I would please like to have that question answered. Let me ask first, are we on the record? Is there a court reporter present? Uh, Phyllis K. Webster, will you please recite?
Alright everyone, today we've got a not-so-bright sovereign citizen on display, and trust me, this one is a total roller coaster. The guy is clearly reading straight from some little sovereign citizen guide he probably picked up online for $20, and you can literally watch his eyes dart back and forth as he struggles to follow the script, even stumbling over his words like he has no clue what he's actually saying. Seriously, do they ever think this approach will work? It never does. Claiming you're not subject to the law while standing in a courtroom isn't exactly a winning tactic. Honestly, it's equal parts awkward and funny to watch, so let me know what you think. Should courts start giving participation trophies for performances like this? Anyway, let's jump right in.
And Mr. Cochran, well, I can't call, Mr. DeBus, you want to start your video? Okay, we are back on the record in 2023 TR 2777, State of Kansas versus Anthony Edward DeBus, with Jared Regier for the state, Mr. DeBus in person, and with standby counsel Darren Patterson. Standby because my prior contacts with Mr. DeBus led me to believe that he, even though he wants to represent himself, there's much about the legal system that he doesn't know or understand and would need the benefit, or would certainly benefit, period, from Mr. Patterson's representation. So, Mr. DeBus, at this time, you want to talk to Mr. Patterson and take advantage of his knowledge and experience in the legal system concerning this no driver's license charge, registration, and insurance violations?
Let me ask first, are we on the record? Is there a court reporter present?
Is there a court reporter present? This hearing is live. It is being recorded. Is someone sitting here with their little fingers clicking across the keyboard? No.
So you're saying that this is not currently a court of record?
This is a court of record because this is being recorded, subject to transcription at any time.
Okay. I would ask for a copy of that transcription.
Well, when you file a written motion and pay the transcription fee, sir, that will be arranged.
Okay. And Phyllis K. Webster, will you please recite your oath of office into the court of record then today?
No, sir, I will not.
Why are you refusing to do so?
Let's move along.
I would please like to have that question answered. On another note, I am appearing specially.
No, I actually think this guy might genuinely be struggling, because he really does sound a bit off, and it's hard to tell with people like this whether they're pretending to be clueless or truly don't understand what's going on. Honestly, it's probably a mix of both. And what's with him demanding that the judge recite her oath? Does he actually believe that's some kind of magic loophole that will get him off the hook? Spoiler, it isn't, and it never has been. Judges take their oath when they're officially sworn in, not on demand just because someone in court asks them to. I'm curious what you think his endgame is, because it's always baffling. People repeat these scripted arguments they likely found online, show up, say all this stuff, and somehow expect the law to bend for them, even though none of these tactics ever succeed. It just doesn't add up, but let me know your thoughts, and let's jump back in.
Take my oath when I was appointed and when I was elected subsequently. Now, what is it I can help you with today? Do you want a trial, a jury trial, or do you want to enter a plea today?
It seemed like last time we had court, you entered the plea for me.
I did, because you would not.
Okay.
But yet what you were saying suggested you wanted a trial, so I entered the not guilty plea and set it for trial. Somewhere along the line, you led me to believe you wanted a jury trial as opposed to a bench trial. Had I been making the decision, I probably would have said bench trial. But somewhere along the line, you've made comments to make me think you wanted a jury trial. Now, I have not seen, let me double check. I don't think, Mr. DeBoos, that you have filed any kind of demand or request or notice for jury trial. Have you?
I thought that was entered into the last court session.
Well, I don't think you filed any motion. You told me apparently you told me you wanted a jury trial, but you never followed through.
I thought that was a decision that we made as the court.
Well, you and I did not make a decision of any kind. Mr. Patterson, do you believe it's acceptable for him to just say he wants a jury trial?
Your Honor, pursuant to case law, because there are at least up to 1 year in the county jail possible, if it's ever consecutive, then case law would state that he has a right to a jury trial.
Agreed, but does he not need to put something in writing to that effect that he wants one? That was my question.
Because there's an absolute right to jury trial, he would not have to put it in writing. It would have to be specifically waived by him, Your Honor, and I don't think he's done a waiver.
Very well. Do you agree with that, Mr. Regier?
Your Honor, what I can say at this time is pursuant to KSA 6238 subsection B, quote, on any issuable trial by right by a jury, a party may demand a jury trial by serving the other parties with a written demand, which may be included in a pleading no later than 14 days after the last pleading directed to the issue is served, and found the demand in accordance with KSA 6205 and amendments thereto.
Mr. Patterson, in spite of that statutory language, do you think he needs to waive his right to jury trial? Did I hear that right?
Absolutely, Judge. Pursuant to case law, and I don't dispute the statute whatsoever, but there is certain case law that makes it a constitutional right to a jury trial if the sentence would be up to a year in the county jail, and in this case, consecutively, it could be up to a year, the longest possible maximum. So it would have to be waived by him, and he would not have to make anything in writing to receive that.
But you don't believe that case law overrules the statutory law, or do you?
This is a constitutional right we're talking about, Your Honor. It would trump the statute.
Okay. So, Mr. Patterson, when you say up to a year in the county jail, are you thinking if they were to be run concurrently, or I mean consecutively versus concurrently?
That would be the longest possible.
It's honestly pretty funny how the judge has shifted to speaking only with the attorneys and is basically ignoring this guy like he isn't even part of the call anymore. Huge respect to her for refusing to entertain the nonsense, because plenty of judges end up letting these kinds of defendants ramble endlessly and derail the proceedings. It's actually refreshing to see someone shut it down, especially in Zoom court hearings, which I'm not a big fan of, particularly when it comes to these types of cases. People seem to get extra bold when they're sitting at home in an office chair, acting like they can argue their way out of the law, whereas in a physical courtroom I doubt it would play out the same way. On video calls it often turns into a shouting match, but this judge is handling it professionally and keeping things under control, which is rare to see. Let me know what you think about her approach, because simply refusing to engage with the disruption is an interesting tactic. Anyway, let's jump back in.
A short recess, I can find that.
Well, now, before you go to that, now, Mr. DeBoos, do you have any idea what's going on here?
I, as a common man, do not comprehend the legalese that you guys are using together. I can look up statutes and case law myself, and considering that this is dealing with a common right to all people under granted to us in restriction of government entities for the people itself. I comprehend that I have my right to jury trial, which I thank Mr. Patterson in his brief support towards this and towards me, towards my right to a jury trial, although I do not fully comprehend the legalese that is going on within the association between Jared Regier and yourself, Phyllis K. Webster.
All right, well, Mr. DeBoos, the point is you do have the right to represent yourself, and you've told me you want to represent yourself, and I've asked Mr. Patterson to stand by, and you've already used him here for this purpose. So here's the thing, Mr. DeBoos. No, let me talk now, Mr. DeBoos. Here's the thing. If you're going to represent yourself, you need to be able to make your own arguments. You need to be able to cite your own law. And if you cannot do that, you have the right to legal assistance, which is why Mr. Patterson is here. And you've already this quickly run into a legal snag that he's made the argument for you. Does it not make sense to you? And do you not want to have his legal assistance to let him represent you?
I do not wish to be represented by an attorney whose duty first is to the courts and not to their clients. And if we're speaking on rights in regards to laws and statutes, the arrest made on me by Deputy K. Barriquet was an unlawful arrest.
All right.
For
well, we're not going on
22-2401.
We're not going down that path right now, sir. Well, the issue is, so you do want a jury trial. Are you ready to proceed on Wednesday, Mr. DeBoos?
May I ask?
One thing I will say about these sovereign citizens, you almost have to acknowledge their sheer confidence. I mean, who else walks into a courtroom with little to no legal knowledge, puts their freedom on the line, and still behaves like they're about to deliver a prize-winning legal masterpiece? It's impressive in the most sarcastic sense possible. How they keep a straight face while debating an actual judge using arguments that sound like they came from some questionable website is beyond me. It's hard to tell whether it's ignorance, misplaced courage, or something else entirely, almost like they believe they've discovered a hidden truth the rest of us don't see. What do you think? Are they simply misinformed, or do they genuinely believe they've found a loophole everyone else has missed? Let's dive back in.
Judge, that is yet another procedure.
Although you are in an administrative court under the state of Kansas Corporation, correct?
I'm here in a criminal traffic trial, and I am not an administrative law judge. So here's what we're going to do. How much time do you want this continued for?
30 days or so seems to be a standard.
Well, my next available jury trial date would be October 2nd and 3rd. So
2024.
2024. So that's when I will continue this at your request to. I'll grant your continuance, but that's my next available date. And your pretrial will be September 30th, 2024. Do you have any objections to that?
No objections.
And Mr. Patterson, do you have any legal authority that suggests that I that I reaffirm my oath for him? Do you have anything that says I should do that?
Judge, I'm afraid I've never researched that issue, never heard that issue.
All right. Well, same here. I do have my oath in front of me. Keep it handy, but
I absolutely love this judge and honestly wish more judges carried themselves this way, because she handled this situation flawlessly. Watching her deal with this guy was like seeing a seasoned professional brush off a minor annoyance. You could almost feel how hard that shutdown hit him when she redirected the conversation to the attorney. It was as if his entire script got torn apart in seconds, and frankly, it was a much-needed dose of reality. What makes it even more unbelievable is that he was facing up to a year behind bars and still thought asking the judge to recite her oath was a smart strategy. On top of that, he openly admitted he doesn't understand the law, yet chose to represent himself anyway, like trying to lead a team without knowing the rules of the game. The most ironic part is how confident he seemed despite everything falling apart around him. I'll wrap things up here. Let me know what you thought about this court hearing. Did the judge handle it perfectly, or was this guy convinced he had some hidden winning move? Drop your thoughts below, and if you enjoy this kind of content, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and take care.